is going on to you, crew? Welcome back to another episode of the Totally Unqualified podcast. This just might be the nicest episode of the Totally Unqualified podcast that we've ever done because what? It is episode 69. Nice, yeah. Episode 69 of the Totally Unqualified podcast. I can't believe we've got to this point. This is a milestone in the history, ever-going history of the Totally Unqualified podcast.
My only regret is not having Gronk on as a guest for this episode. That we couldn't get to that point fast enough.
We reached out to his people. Did his people know we were reaching out? No. Did we even reach out to the right people? Probably not.
Who knows?
But we did our due diligence, and that was probably not.
Yeah, we'll get Gronk on in a future episode, and we'll just like name it the episode 69.
Maybe maybe episode 690.
There it is.
Yeah,
there it is. Or season 2, episode 69, whatever. As always, I am of course joined by the lovely Jake Maltese and Gage Hall. How are we doing tonight, guys?
I am doing so fucking good. As I was telling you guys about right now, I am so overstimulated with sports right now. NHL trade deadline was today. I was glued to Twitter. Rangers made some huge moves, bringing in Andrew Kopp, Mott, and then we got Merkley and Justin Braun from the Flyers. I know you guys have no idea who any of these people are.
Did you trade your backup goalie? The backup goalie?
We did not. Alexander Georgiev is who put up a 44-shot shutout against Gage's Carolina Hurricanes last night. Did not get traded. I think he saved his job with that performance last night.
Clutched up.
Yes.
My house was telling me, big Rangers fan.
Oh yeah. It was like so that is the equivalent of like the Nick Foles Super Bowl. Like it shouldn't have happened. Like it should not have happened.
Maybe not to that extent. Maybe
no. To that extent, like I'll put it this way. The Carolina Panthers, the Carolina Hurricanes had 44 shots on goal.
Yeah.
The New York Rangers had 17.
It wasn't like as big of
not
like
a big moment.
Stage.
It was a huge game. In terms of standings for the playoffs.
It's like Nick Foles beating Tom Brady, but when he was on the Bears and Tom Brady forgot his fourth down.
I'll say this. It was like the Nick Foles crushing the Vikings in the NFC Championship game. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
It's a little bit of a less stakes game. Going up against Case Keenum, so it doesn't,
studs all around.
Yeah. So it was like they were so outclassed. Like the Carolina Panthers win that game 99 times out of Carolina Hurricanes. Holy shit. I can't fucking say shit. Carolina Hurricanes win that game 99 times out of 100. Not even 9 times out of 10. 99 times out of 100. But like Georgiev, our backup goalie, who just had an insane performance, and it was great. It was
shout out the Rangers.
Seriously, Rangers fucking cooking right now. Cooking right now.
The Hurricanes are doing well too. Last night not so much, but we are overall.
Yes.
But I'm doing well also. Same old stuff, different days. Just I've been training for my new job, so that's exciting. Jameis Winston is a fucking saint again. So let's go, boys. Love that.
Big.
But I'm doing great. I'm ready to get into it. I'm excited.
Yeah, we have a great episode for you guys planned out today. We're going to be talking a lot about quarterbacks because it seems as though from the last episode that we did last week, the entire fucking NFL just flipped upside down and everybody is on a new team and every single team has a new starting quarterback, except for the Green Bay Packers, which couldn't have expected that one past 2 off seasons. But we get to that after we do guess that player. I have a player in mind. I'm going to put the timer on the clock.
Okay.
Whenever you guys start with your first question, I'll start it up.
Currently playing.
No.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Time out. I stopped the clock.
Okay.
Free agent.
Okay.
All right. Are they older-ish?
I'd say no.
Okay.
No. Okay.
Baker Mayfield.
He's not
free agent.
He's not a free agent.
Yeah.
Skill position.
No.
Okay.
Damn. Were they like notably really good at one point?
At one point, not really over the top good. They Pro Bowler.
Okay.
Offense or defense?
Defense.
Okay.
Oh shit. What?
23 seconds.
Shit. D-line.
Smith.
No.
To
No to
which?
both. No to both. No to both.
Okay. Secondary.
Shit.
Secondary, yes.
Josh Norman.
No.
Rich Sherman.
No.
Is it a corner?
Not a corner.
Safety.
Safety.
Yep.
It's safety. Fuck.
I'll give you an extra 15 seconds.
What safeties are?
Who? Tyrann Mathieu?
No.
I think he's better than just a Pro Bowler.
I
can't even think of what other safeties are.
Eddie Jackson. No, Eddie Jackson.
Nope. I'll give you each one final guess.
Fuck.
This was a tough one, I have to admit.
We didn't even narrow down AFC, NFC, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Well, he's played for multiple teams. Predominantly known for an NFC team.
Predominantly known for an NFC team.
All right. I'll just throw something out there.
I don't know. I don't even know like what.
I'll go Landon Collins.
Nope. That was a good guess, though.
That is a good guess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Patrick Peterson's technically a safety now, right? Isn't he? Didn't he transition?
No,
I thought he did.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think he's
corner. Yeah.
Well, never mind then. I don't know.
What episode are we on?
69.
Oh, geez, who is it?
Clinton Dix, guys.
Fuck.
Sean Clinton Dix, one of my favorite Green Bay Packers of all time.
Very fitting. Very fitting. Good pick.
That is a tough one. I'm thinking like big free agents. You know, like. Yeah.
He had that one good season 2016 and fizzled out and really just
kind of bounced around a little bit.
Yeah. I thought he was better than what a lot of people thought he was, though, in his Packers career.
I feel like he was definitely solid, like for the majority of that time. I don't think he was ever like bad or a liability.
He got traded to Washington, I believe, and kind of went downhill from there.
He played for the Bears for a little while.
Cowboys.
He was all over the place.
I think he's played for the Raiders and Niners, I think. So, all right. Moving on to our first segment of the day. Matt Ryan is on a new team as he has just been traded to the Indianapolis Colts for a third-round pick after the fallout of the whole Deshaun Watson situation. Matt Ryan, a little bit rubbed the wrong way and just didn't want to be there anymore. With this, the Falcons are incurring the largest cap hit departure in NFL history at $40 million of dead money. 40 million. That is, I believe, 7 million more than any other dead money hit of any player of all time. So, Gage, I'm going to start with you. Do you like this move? What do you think it does for the Colts, and where do you think it leaves the Falcons?
I think the only person that wins in this situation is Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is still getting a bag. He is on a much better team now than he was with the Falcons, obviously. But I hate I'm planning on making a video about this. I haven't yet because I knew we were going to talk about it here. I hate this move for the Colts. There is nothing positive about this for me. I don't necessarily think that he's much of an upgrade, if an upgrade over Carson Wentz. This reminds me of them picking up Phillip Rivers. It was like, this is another bridge guy that's going to come in. And I don't think he still has some decent play left in him, I think. But I don't think he's enough to get them over that hump that they're trying to get over. I think maybe they get back to the playoffs, but I think it's going to be, again, a Phillip Rivers situation all over again, where they make it and they try, but they don't make it very far. I love the Colts. I think that they have a lot of talent on that team, but I think that genuinely Chris Ballard is screwing them over in free agency. I think he's doing phenomenal in the draft. Obviously, they picked up some amazing pieces in guys like Darius Leonard over the years and guys like Quentin Nelson. They have a lot of guys that are fairly young that are super talented players, and that's what's gotten them to the point that they're at. But they have done nothing at what is the most important position on the team in quarterback, but consistently just swap guys out, try to bring in another guy. And it feels like every single guy is just another bridge guy. And if they don't fix it immediately, they're going to waste this young talent that they have. Guys are going to leave. I hate it. I don't like it at all.
Yeah. That's basically the thought I had. It seemed immediately like another Phillip Rivers situation. I do think Matt Ryan is better than Phillip Rivers was at this point in his career.
Sure.
But Man, listen, Matt Ryan at his best is a really fucking good quarterback. So let's give him his just due. He was, this is a former MVP of the NFL not too long ago. Actually, wait, 6 years ago. Shit.
6 years ago.
God,
Man.
fuck, man,
wow.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a former NFL MVP. Just like very consistently good quarterback for a long, long time. I didn't see him really fall off a cliff last year. He's not what he used to be, but I think he's still very good. I don't know what the Colts, and maybe I'm wrong here. I don't know what the Colts just unwillingness to draft a rookie quarter. Like, I don't know why they won't just go all in with a rookie quarterback, because the team is young. Like, you don't have to worry. Like, you don't have a team of like, all pro aging veterans that, this is your window. You gotta hit it now. Like, no, like Michael Pittman, you just drafted him a couple years ago. Jonathan Taylor, he was just in his second season. Quentin Nelson was only drafted a couple years ago. Like, this team is young. Darius Leonard isn't that old. Like, his team is young.
Anymore.
Yeah.
Even so, though, like, with that being said, I feel like because of how young they are, a lot of these guys aren't on huge contracts right now, which is a big part of the reason that they have as much money as they do.
Yeah.
They are really in like they could pull a win now situation, trade away picks, go out and get a guy that could really be that franchise guy for the next few years or whatever. And they just haven't done that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I give Chris Ballard all of the praise in the world for what they've done in the draft, but in free agency, he's been fucking awful, to say the least.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't see where I think they should listen. If this experiment doesn't work out, they got to go, and they got to know they got to get a quarterback. Like, they have to draft a quarterback. Like, there's really no other guys that are just going to, come on the market. Aaron Rodgers is now locked up till the end of his career. Matt Ryan, like, this is his last stint. We don't know how long this is going to last. And I really I can't think of any other guys that like are aging and might want to leave I can't think of anybody else. I can't. So
I think they missed out. I think if they were the team to go ahead and package a bunch of picks together to get Russell Wilson, I'm telling you right now, the Colts probably would have been my Super Bowl pick out of the AFC. I'm telling you, even with all of the competitive quarterbacks, because you look at that offensive line, you look at that running game, the emerging Michael Pittman, who I think is an absolute superstar, probably going to have to get some more weapons, but that's doable in the draft and through free agency and whatnot. I mean, Julio Jones is on the market. Jarvis Landry could have been your slot guy. And then they're just extremely young and talented defense. This was the number one defense just 2 seasons ago. And they seem to only be getting better. I mean, maybe they could get a few pieces at safety and some more players on that front seven. But I think the Colts, I don't like comparing this to the Phillip Rivers situation, because I think the AFC is just far too talented right now. And I don't necessarily think Matt Ryan puts them over the top. I will say they might be my early favorites to win this division just because of the team that's around Matt Ryan. But like you said, Gage, the only winner in this is Matt Ryan. I think the Colts really messed up last season trading for Carson Wentz, and that just goes to show how good of a GM and just good management the Eagles have right now, with Howie Roseman just able to finesse that and get it was a conditional second round and turned into a first round pick, right? Yeah. So
which is why the Eagles have 3 now.
Yep. And that it highlights that, but it's tough. I don't think the Falcons are. I think the Falcons are the worst team in the NFL by far. I don't think it's close. I can name you Kyle Pitts. I can name you Cordero Patterson, Deion Jones, Grady Jarrett, and that is it. That is quite literally it. The only players that I know. And they don't have Calvin Ridley.
Marcus Mariota.
Oh yeah, Marcus Mariota.
Yeah,
yeah, look at that. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna have a resurgence or whatever.
Not with that team.
Now I will give them this. They are in a position right now where this quarterback class, even though we're saying it's not good, it's not the best. Like, there's no surefire hits coming out of this quarterback class, like a Trevor Lawrence or a Justin Herbert, like Joe Burrow situation, like where we can look at them and be like, okay, that guy's gonna be a superstar. Like but some of these quarterbacks could end up being superstars. Like there are definitely some that have that potential. So, and they're gonna fall. Like, they're gonna be available at any point in the first round. Like, you can get Kenny Pickett probably in the late first round. Like, I don't think that's crazy to say that. Sam Howell might fall to the second round. Like, there are guys that you can get in this draft. I'm pretty sure that Malik Willis will probably be the first one off the board at this point with how much he's been hyped up. But Matt Corral, like we don't know where he's gonna go. Like if they, with their pick, I believe in the mid-20s, I believe they have one. If they went and they took a quarterback, like I think that would be the best situation for them, and try to develop them under Matt Ryan. Maybe also, I don't think it's wild to say maybe they go out and get a Jordan Love. Like, I don't think that's crazy because Jordan Love is obviously the next, like, other than Baker Mayfield, like he's the next quarterback to get traded. Like, because obviously he's not playing under Aaron Rodgers anymore.
I don't even think he gets traded anymore at this point because I really think right now you could say that you could look at the Falcons, you could look at the Giants and the Seahawks. Other than those three teams, I think everybody has their quarterback, at least for this upcoming season.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to affect the quarterback's draft stock in this upcoming draft. Like maybe Malik Willis doesn't go in the top 10 or top 15 anymore. Maybe you're going to start seeing some of these guys fall because all of a sudden everybody has their quarterback and there's not really quarterback needy teams. They're not a huge market for them.
Yeah.
And if there was ever going to be a season for teams to not be quarterback needy, it's probably this off season with the lack of superstar talent in the draft. So,
I mean, there's going to be teams that are going to take chances on these guys. And there's teams that have to, like the Falcons, like we were talking about. I mean, Marcus Mariota, I think that he's still got something left to offer. I don't think that he's horrible. But I mean, I think that he's not your franchise guy at this point. It's a guy that Arthur Smith was comfortable with. He knows him. He knows what he's able to do. He's got a good running back in Cordero Patterson that they just re-signed. So I think that he knows that, I can do a little bit of something here to kind of bridge the gap, but that's pretty much it. So I think it's going to get more interesting when draft time comes around. But as far as the quarterback carousel for free agency, like, I mean, people are locked up. It's crazy.
Yeah. Listen, Cordero Patterson might be a top 5 pick in fantasy this year because I don't see anybody else on the team. Kyle Pitts and Cordero Patterson. That is it. That is absolutely it. So moving on, last week, our episode was completely ruined because the next day, Deshaun Watson got traded to the fucking Cleveland Browns, guys. The Cleveland Browns, who we said prior, no shot. I'm not going to your team. Oh, wait, the next day. Oh, you throw 230 million guaranteed my way. Okay. I'll change my mind and go to your team. Deshaun Watson is now a Cleveland Brown. The Browns gave up a 2020. It was 3 first-round picks, 2022, 2023, and 2024. 2024 fourth-round pick and 2 2023 third-round picks. So just a ton. I said in last episode that this was probably going to exceed the Russell Wilson trade package, and by God, it did. So Jake, what does this mean for the Cleveland Browns? If you're a Browns fan, how do you even feel about this trade?
All right, I'm going to start off with strictly football. How do we feel strictly football wise? Because I know this is a pretty controversial, situation that's going on right now. But football wise, I mean, how can you not feel great? I mean, this is the bet. You instantly got the best quarterback in your franchise's history, like even including, the Ravens that the Cleveland Browns that turned into the Ravens,
even including Deshaun Kaiser.
Yeah, even including Deshaun Kaiser, Tim Couch. No, but like even like Bernie Kosar, like they had nothing. They have nothing on Deshaun Watson and how good he is. Yeah, I mean Otto Graham probably is the only one that could put up a fight here. Yeah. And even Otto Graham played in the 50s, so he did not have the talent that Deshaun Watson had. So I mean, if you're a Cleveland Browns fan and you're strictly looking at the football, like the football field on the field, you feel great. Like this is the best time of you ever being a Browns fan because this team has instantly turned into, I know we've said it over the last couple of years that they're a Super Bowl contender. That's because of all the pieces that have been on this team. They have a great O-line. They have the best running game in the NFL. The receivers are a little iffy. That's the one position that, they're probably gonna have target in the draft.
Amari Cooper, and then there's quite a bit of a drop.
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Holy shit, I forgot about Amari Cooper. Yeah, okay, so they're receiver. They do have a legit receiver.
Yeah, they have a receiver one. And then after that, it's like these guys.
It's like DPJ. DPJ looked good. DPJ has.
I think
good
he could
moments.
emerge.
Yeah. But their defense is absolutely insane. I mean, they have just tremendous defense there, led by Myles Garrett, who's an all-world defensive end. So this team is built for the playoffs now. Deshaun Watson has plenty of playoff experience. And I mean, just strictly football related stuff, you are feeling it is the best time to ever be a Browns fan right now. Now, going into the other side of the coin, oh man, this is tough.
Should we all talk football first and then get into that side of things?
Yeah. All right. I want to see your guys' football takes on it.
I think that the Browns have kind of entered that like Rams territory, but I feel like the roster is a little more questionable in some areas than the Rams were going into last season. Like Myles Garrett, obviously fantastic, but outside of that front seven, that D line right now is a little bit iffy. I mean,
Danielle Hunter trade rumors to the Browns.
Yeah, I've been hearing that. And if they get him, if he can stay healthy, that would be fantastic. That would make, huge waves for them. But I mean, other than that, you're looking at
is Clowney still on the Browns?
He hasn't re-signed.
Okay.
They've been talking to him from what I've been hearing, but he hasn't re-signed as of now.
They traded for Chase Winovich. So
Chase. Yeah.
I thought Mac Wilson was good for them. I don't understand why. Did he fall off this year?
Well, they have JOK.
JOK, I think, is going to be great. So, but that's obviously going to be potential based and stuff as well. We'll have to see how that plays out because last season, he had some flashes, but didn't do anything like super spectacular for them. If those things pan out, then yeah, I think they'll be solid. I think the secondary is really good as well. But that, the defensive front, questionable. The receivers after Amari Cooper, questionable. There's just a few things that I think that they still need to build on. And with that being said, I think that they have to do it quick because you guarantee a guy $230 million. When I say they're entering that Rams territory, they're entering the territory where it's like, we have a few seasons to really get this right before our cap starts tearing us apart. So they need to get to work.
I'm going to pose a question. Okay. If Joe Burrow doesn't bring his team to the Super Bowl, is Deshaun Watson a Brown right now? Because I feel like I feel like the Browns felt like after the Super Bowl run of the Bengals, they feel like Baker Mayfield is not amongst that elite class. He's not a Lamar Jackson. He's not a Joe Burrow. He's not one of these young guys that could take his team to the promised lands, and specifically Joe Burrow because they're in the same division, obviously. I don't know. I guess it's a what if situation.
I think you obviously always kind of plan around your division and stuff because those are teams that you're gonna have to play against in 6 games. So to get out of that division, you're gonna have to face them. But as far as that specifically, I think it may play a little bit of a role, but I think a lot of this just has to do with Baker Mayfield's play over the last season and stuff. Yeah. Even if injuries do play a part in it, I think that they've seen him do some good things, do some not so good things over the past few seasons, and they're ready to win now. They're ready to take this franchise to the next level, so to speak. And I don't know. I think they're trying to make moves to make that happen.
I was shocked. Oh, sorry, Jake.
No, you're good.
I was shocked that you say you're good. I was like,
go ahead.
All right. Oh, Jesus. I was shocked that the Browns didn't have to give up a player on either side of the ball to get Deshaun
That's crazy.
Watson.
I mean, that's a lot of picks, but to not throw in a player in there anywhere that's a W for them. I will say that.
I thought Grady Williams at least like
something on the defensive side.
The AFC is just so loaded, and we really don't even know how anything is going to play out because we're looking at least like 4 solid teams that are going to miss out in the playoffs that you'd think originally, like, hey, just at first glance, if I told you the Raiders, they're not going to make the playoffs, but you're like, oh, the Raiders are a pretty good team. Like there's going to be a bunch of really solid teams that miss out, and the Browns might be one of those. Considering, I think I'm going to get into the legal trouble a little bit, but like Deshaun Watson's getting a suspension, right? Like he's getting he's got to be suspended.
There's something coming. There has to be.
You would think, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what comes out of all that. He still has obviously a bunch of civil cases that he has to deal with and stuff like that, whether he kind of, pays out some money to make that go away or whatever the case may be. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I would assume there's some sort of suspension coming. My thing is like the guaranteed money is just shocking to me.
It's crazy.
It's crazy because with somebody as big of a question mark as Deshaun Watson, like that's the guy you decide to give $230 million. Now, 2 years ago, you 100% give Deshaun Watson $230 million fully guaranteed. that makes all the sense in the world. But right now, like, yes, he's not going to be charged criminally. All right, good. People need to stop thinking that that means he's innocent, because it doesn't. Okay. And I'm not saying he's guilty either. I'm just saying we don't know. There was not. People need to understand what happened in the court, because people are like, oh, he's innocent. What the fuck are you talking about? No. He's not innocent. That's not what the court said. They said they don't have enough evidence to charge him criminally. That's all they said. Okay. Now, interpret that as you may. There are still civil cases going on, civil lawsuits going on. So he's still going to court and has to, something's going to come down, probably going to be a financial compensation situation. But, we will probably never know if he ever did it. It's going to be up to interpretation, just like Big Ben's situation was, a decade ago, just like, even Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
This shit. Yeah. Like these players, like it sucks because, but like, all I'm going to say is 22 women is a lot to be, collaborate and be lying about one thing. That's a lot of women. But that was shocking to me. That was the number one thing that popped out to me, that they would be willing to give him all that guaranteed money. There has to be a clause in that contract that says that.
You would think. There's some sort of language or something in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Browns is the Browns.
It kind of does just annoy me that it is the Browns and that they gave up on Baker Mayfield. And I understand that he's not the best quarterback in the world, but like he just came off of a torn labrum in his shoulder.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't really throw all too well. Granted, he probably shouldn't have been on the field. And if he just got the surgery right away and didn't play last season, he's probably still a Cleveland Brown.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, he is technically a Cleveland Brown, but like,
I just don't know. I don't know, because even if, all right, Baker Mayfield, it was clear from day one, Deshaun, there's very few people that are better at quarterback than Deshaun Watson. There's very few.
Yeah.
All right. Deshaun Watson.
Based on the last time we saw him on the field.
Yeah. Like I can count on one hand how many people are better than Deshaun Watson in the National Football League, a quarterback. So I don't know. Cause it's like, like Baker Mayfield maybe is that guy, maybe he's an Eli Manning. Maybe he's a Joe Flacco, because he turned it on the play. Like, you got to give it to him. He fucking played his heart out in the playoffs when they went. He really did.
Really, that whole season, that whole 2020 season, especially the second half.
He played his fucking heart out. And he did not collapse in the playoffs. He was just as good, if not even better. So is he an Eli Manning? Is he a Joe Flacco? Is he one of these guys? Because he's not a Tom Brady. He's not, he's not a Peyton Manning. He'll Deshaun Watson, hate it or not, is in that class. Like, he's in the classes of Patrick Mahomes, the Josh Allen's. Like,
and we've talked about Baker Mayfield a bunch of times now, and this isn't me just trying to slander him again or anything like that. But I mean, we just a little bit of devil's advocate for, like, when people say, well, he's the best quarterback the Browns have had, especially in a long time, and this and that. And it's like, well, he's pretty good, I get that. But at the same time, it's like, even though they're the Browns, are we still settling for pretty good? Or are we still settling for this guy, did some good things before, when Deshaun Watson is on the table and he is that probably top 5, almost definitely I'd be willing to guarantee he's going to be top 10 as soon as he gets back on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It makes sense for them to make a move like this. I just don't like the contract is the biggest thing. As far as, his civil cases and stuff like that and what comes out of that, I just don't know. I think that people get too pissed off at each other when it comes to talking about these kinds of things. I feel like people need to be a little bit more open about this kind of dialogue and having these conversations, rather than just, well, I think with all those women coming out, he's definitely guilty. And then somebody being like, no, they already said that he's not guilty, and just arguing with that and calling each other idiots. You know what I mean? Yeah. Have a conversation about it. Let's be mature about it. Let's talk about it. None of us are in this situation. There's no need to feel so passionate about it that we need to get pissed off, but I think it's important to talk about it. And if we just throw shade, attack each other, we're never going to solve anything. The fact of the matter is, we just don't know. We don't know what's going on right now. We don't know what kind of evidence there is that has come out throughout this. Obviously, there wasn't enough to charge him for anything criminally. Whatever happens with the civil cases will be interesting to see when we do get to that point, because those are going to come up and something is going to come out of it, whether it be, like I said, him paying some people off or whatever the case may be, just to kind of push that to the side and get back to football, or if something more comes out of it. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I will say that these teams that are coming out, and my team included, the Saints came out and said, oh, we've done a full, background. We've looked into it all. They're full of shit. They're full of shit. They are 100% more interested in what they can get out of them on the field. They may have done a little bit of research, but they're not doing this deep dive, making sure that he's like innocent or anything like that. As soon as the court was like, we can't charge him, they were like, fuck yeah, let's get to it.
Exactly. Yeah. And just like 230 million, I have a problem with already guaranteed, really just going to any player, but like Deshaun Watson specifically, you're going to give that amount of money to him. And really, I feel like they only gave it to him so that he came to the Browns. Like the Falcons, I don't think we're going to give him 230 million guaranteed.
The situation just felt wrong almost because of the situation that he's coming out of, and these teams are like fighting over him the way they are.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have to roll the red carpet out for this guy. But no, that's because of the no trade clause.
It's football. That's what it is. It's just the pure, like, if OJ Simpson was still playing when he we all know he did it and he committed and, he got the not guilty charge. I guarantee you same shit would have happened. Teams would have been lining up at the door if he was a free agent, trying to sign him, whether they knew he did it or not, whether they knew in their hearts that he did it or not. Because that's the type of player he was. He was OJ Simpson. He was like I think he was the first ever guy to rush for 2,000 yards.
First and foremost, it's the product on the field.
That's it. They don't care. I don't care. I don't give a shit what the NFL says about all this. And listen, a lot of players do a lot of great things off the field. There are way more. I would say 90% of the NFL is full of very good-hearted and kind people who do absolutely awesome things in their community. Like that is 90% of the NFL.
Which is why I love the way that they highlighted like the Walter Payton Man of the Year stuff this year and everything. That kind of stuff. Awesome. I'm all for it.
Yes, absolutely. It's just, it comes down to the fact that people want to win so bad. People want to win so bad. And especially if you're a team like the Browns, I don't give a shit at how many investigations you said you did. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You saw an all-world football player who's on, who was available to get, and you fucking went out and got him. That's what happened. I don't give a shit about you. You threw your morals out the window. I'm sorry, you're going to. You're gonna have to say that you did. Now again, I'm not saying he's guilty. I don't want people to think like I'm Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, again, we don't know.
Hater.
We just
because honestly, he was like one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch in the NFL before all these accusations come out.
Yeah,
it sucks. It sucks because everybody's gonna have an implicit bias because, if shit comes out right now that Derek Jeter is my favorite athlete of all time. All right, it's Derek Jeter above everybody. It's not even close. If shit comes out that says Derek Jeter, sexually assaulted 50 women, I'm going to deny it at first. And does that make me, does that make me feel like a shitty person? Does that make you, perceived as a shitty person? Probably. But like, that's somebody I've idolized. Like that's, it's denial. It's like, oh no, he can't. No. That's not the ball player I saw growing up. That's not the guy who I have posters on the wall, the guy I looked up to. That's not how I imagined him to be. It's this humanization to realize they're not all, they're cracked up to, there's people, like they're people that can still do shit off the field. So, the people that are huge fans of Deshaun Watson and want him to be not guilty are going to be defending him to the very end. And I get that. And the people, that are probably rivals of him that didn't like him, maybe like Jags fans are probably like, no, he did it. And understandably so, because they hate him. Like it was the same thing with Ben Roethlisberger's situation. You saw Browns, Ravens fans like jumping on, being like, oh yeah, this guy's a fucking rapist.
It's been like that for years. People still say it to this day. I mean, it's going to follow him.
Ray Lewis too. Ray Lewis got proven not guilty for the murder thing, and there's still people like, he murdered people. That's it. It's like it's always going to be there. And he's again, we'll never know if Ray Lewis did it. We'll never know if Ben Roethlisberger did it. We'll never know if Kobe did it. We know OJ Simpson did it, but like we'll never know.
but Jake, the glove didn't fit on his
head. The glove didn't fit. The glove didn't fit. We can get into that conspiracy another time. But like, this will go down in history as just another case where we will never know. We'll
it's
never know.
funny, but it's not funny. As soon as Deshaun Watson, like, it came out that he chose the Browns or whatever, I tweeted, I was like, Saints fans will hate this guy until he's out of the league.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, I know a lot of people wanted him to come there, but that's just how it goes. Like he could have been, a lot of people could have been like, oh, he could potentially come to the Saints. Yeah, he's innocent. And then as soon as he chooses another team, nah, guilty for sure.
Guilty. Yeah. And I hate to say it, but like a lot of these higher ups and owners too are kind of like the same person as like Deshaun Watson's made out to be right now, or as looking like, look at Dan Snyder. Dan Snyder is he's in a position of power. And do you think he's going to give a shit about who you are as a person?
Yeah.
No, because he just wants to make money, and money makes money. So
Jerry Jones, the accusations came out about Jerry Jones that he had a daughter, that he paid off a woman to conceal the fact that he cheated on his wife in the 90s. Like
it wasn't that long ago that Robert Kraft had some interesting things going on at massage parlors. So
like these people are not saints. These people are not saints. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not put it past them. That's a great point, Luke, to say like these people, I hate to say it, they're used to this kind of shit, and they know how it goes when you get the best lawyers in the world. Like, it's like, all right,
money and power breeds those kinds of things.
Exactly.
And then you get guys like Brian Flores, who gets fired for wanting to win.
To win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking how dare you? How
and
dare
winning.
you?
And
how
winning.
dare you want to win? How dare you? How dare you try to
what
win?
A fucking concept.
Come on, what the fuck are we doing? Hey, and now he's on with one of the winningest coaches of all time, Mike Tomlin. So wish him well. So moving on from one Brown to another Brown, who's probably not going to be a Brown for too much longer. You know what? Honestly, the time that we post this episode too, he's going to be gone, and we'll have to change the whole fucking.
I mean, to where?
Seahawks.
We'll talk about that.
Bring Baker to Seattle. You want to know how quickly I would buy that jersey? I used to say that the Browns were my second favorite team because I'd always root for them, especially when they got Baker Mayfield, because they sucked so much. I was like, you felt bad. You're like, damn, this team really needs to be a winner. And then ever since, I love Baker Mayfield. I love him since college just because of his attitude. I love it. And say what you want about Baker Mayfield. He doesn't have accusations like that against him. All right. Yeah. Did he get tackled by the cops for being publicly intoxicated? Or yes, but then again,
haven't we all?
Yeah, exactly. I would put that on the lower end of like things people in the NFL have been arrested for. Yeah. I love Baker Mayfield, and I hope he comes to Seattle. I love Drew Lock too. I've defended, like, go back and watch the episode. I praise Drew Lock throughout this season. Like, I think Drew Lock's a good guy too, but I just fucking love Baker Mayfield. And I think if he had a chip on his shoulder before, holy shit, is like, I am dead ass thinking Baker Mayfield could throw 30 touchdowns this year. Like, I don't think that's crazy.
DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. And like the Seattle has like a pretty like good situation. Like, you get to throw to DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Dwayne Eskridge was a third round pick. Rashad Penny's coming back now. He was averaging like 150 yards a game in the second half of the season last year.
It might not be the situation he was in, but it's not really, in the big picture of things, like, it's not awful. I don't think the Seahawks are in as bad a spot as we kind of thought they were going to be at this point.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about Baker Mayfield quite a bit, and I'm going to touch on him as well. But I think the biggest thing, we're also going to talk about Jimmy G. And I think the biggest thing between these two guys, and the thing that's most interesting, is like the Seahawks are a potential landing spot because they are QB needy. You know, I don't really count Drew Lock as a guy that you could just throw in there at starter and, you know, he's going to be fantastic. He is a gamble. But it's like, I mean, where do these guys go outside of that? The Panthers need a quarterback, but they have no money. They have no money, and they don't really have a whole lot.
I think they're stuck. I think they're stuck with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's making $18 million this year. Sam Darnold, $18 million cap.
It's weird, but it's not, because they're paying Sam Darnold. They're paying Teddy Bridgewater, who was a Bronco last year, is a Dolphin now, a backup Dolphin getting paid by the Panthers.
I forgot about the Teddy Bridgewater thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Cam Newton is not on the roster right now, but I hear that they're trying to work something out with him. So, I mean, how many quarterbacks are you going to have on the payroll that aren't on the team? So it's really interesting. We've talked about it throughout the episode. There aren't a lot of QB needy teams. There aren't a lot of guys.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
So it's like, who's really willing to, and the things I keep hearing about Jimmy G is that John Lynch wants too much for him. They want to get too much out of that trade for what he's really worth. And now teams that are looking into him, which I don't know who the hell's looking into him, but teams that are looking into him based on what I've heard are like, okay, we want him then. And then we also want a decent draft pick to kind of soften that blow of the money that he's getting paid because he's set to make like $27 million this year.
Mm-hmm. I think Jimmy G, you would have asked me a month ago if Jimmy G was going to be a 49er come, the draft or come the season's beginning. I would have said no. I think Jimmy G is going to be a 49er at the start of the season, simply because I don't think any team needs to trade for him right now. I think the only way Jimmy G gets traded is if a big name quarterback gets injured or any quarterback gets injured in the middle of the season. I think that's what's, likely to happen.
Sometime.
I mean, there's bound to be some quarterback that gets hurt and gets, goes down with an injury this season. So I think that's when Jimmy G gets traded, maybe mid-season before the trade deadline. As for Baker Mayfield, there's one possible team, and it's the Seattle Seahawks. And I mean, Baker Mayfield is not going to stay on the Cleveland Browns. He makes too much money, and the Browns don't really have any leverage right now because they know that they can't keep him, or the other teams know that the Browns can't keep him on the books. They know that Baker Mayfield doesn't want to be there in the first place, and I don't blame him. They already signed, who'd they just get? Jacoby Brissett, I believe, and Jacoby Brissett might be their day one starter if Deshaun Watson gets suspended. So Jimmy G, I'm thinking is staying in where he is in San Francisco. Does he start over Trey Lance? That's another question. Maybe not. Baker Mayfield is a Seahawk, and I don't think there's any other team that's really viable.
Yeah. At the same time, I do want to say one quick point. As far as Matt Ryan going to the Colts, if I'm the Colts, I much prefer a Baker Mayfield trade to a Matt Ryan trade.
Yeah.
He's still fairly young. I think that he's talented, and I think that he takes them to a higher level than Matt Ryan potentially does. As far as the Jimmy G situation, like I think that he could still be on the team, and I think that his value is the highest, like you said, Luke, probably during the season if somebody goes down with an injury, which is inevitable. It's always going to happen. But at the same time, it's like I just said, this guy is set to make $27 million this year. That's a huge cap hit for them when they could be upgrading other positions. And it's like, dude, I mean, I don't want to keep him on the books. I want to move him. If I have to give up a little bit more, or if I have to take something less, I'm willing to do that if I'm John Lynch personally.
Teams are asking, you're saying Jimmy G. Okay.
Yeah, Jimmy G.
Yeah. Teams are asking for Baker Mayfield and picks to take on his contract. That was latest report by, I can't remember who reported that.
Was
I did see that
definitely John Schneider that did that shit, which is so funny to me. Because who else is it? Who else is calling?
Yeah.
It's either Carolina.
I feel like
maybe
the Panthers are still talking just to, see what they can do, because you don't ask, you don't know. But I just don't know how they take on anybody with the situation they're in.
I want Baker on the New York Giants. I want him on the Giants so bad. I think that would work out. Daniel Jones. I feel like everybody knows except for the Giants that Daniel Jones is not the guy. Everybody but the New York Giants. Literally
Daniel Jones as your quarterback is like hiring Urban Meyer as your head coach. Like everybody knows. Everybody knows it's not going to work out. It's just not going to happen. But here we are.
He would thrive in the New York market too. I really think he would.
Yeah, he would. But I don't know.
I feel like that could be super volatile.
Odell situation comes to my head right away. As soon as Odell started causing issues, or like even as soon as like a little like hint of the fact that Odell might have, it wasn't even like confirmed, he might have been causing issues in the locker room. New York fans dropped him so fucking
Where
quickly.
did Odell Beckham Jr. have his best seasons?
New York,
New York. He was a superstar who needed to be in a superstar market, and he did his best in
football.
In the
football wise, I think for Baker, like that'd be good. That'd be a great fit. Personality wise, I think it's one end of the spectrum or the other. It's fantastic for him. He fits right in. Or if things aren't going so hot, it's going to be horrible. People are going to hate him.
I think
he would thrive in Seattle. I think he would.
Yeah.
It's a mid-level market. It's not a huge market, but it's not a small market either. It's a mid-level market. And he would embody the culture of the team. Right. The culture of the team right now is we're not supposed to win, but hey, we got some pretty underrated. Like I looked at our depth chart for our front seven, and I'm not going to lie. Like I was like, okay, like, damn. Okay. Like we're switching to a 3-4 now. So we got Uchenna Nwosu, who's actually a pretty good pickup for us. And then you got Jordan Brooks, who broke this franchise record.
Uchenna Nwosu might be your best defensive player.
Yeah.
Over
honestly.
Jamal Adams.
Yeah. And then you got Jordan Brooks at
Over
linebacker
Quandre
broke our
Diggs.
franchise record for most tackles. Puna Ford and Shelby Harris like on the defensive line.
It's really solid. There's no like
Quentin
huge
Jefferson
names,
had a good
but
year last year.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
guys that are like you don't hate having them on your team by any means.
Exactly.
And if you think about it, Baker in Seattle, he's a lot closer to LA, way more commercials in the offseason.
True.
Phenomenal commercials.
True.
I don't know if that's what we need. I don't know if that's what we need.
I'm gonna be like honest. I think Baker Mayfield and Drew Lock would have a little bit of a bromance. I don't know. I just feel like Baker Mayfield and Drew Lock could be best friends. I feel like they would.
I feel like Drew Lock kind of has that like similar personality kind of thing, just not as big. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He's not as outward about it, but I feel like they'd get along.
I do too. Now, obviously, it's two quarterbacks competing against each other, so they I don't know how much competition it would be. Baker Mayfield would win that hands down, but I am so for bringing Baker Mayfield. I just think he would embody the spirit of the team this year, which is like underdog mentality all year. Still got some pieces on this team where our receivers can get open. Our defense is gritty. These are all the bad team words that they use.
Let me ask
high
you
energy
this
guys,
real quick.
bunch of high energy guys, chip on their shoulders.
What would happen? What would you do if you guys traded for Baker Mayfield and then Drew Lock beats him in the quarterback competition? Like he beats him out for the starting job.
Honestly, I would probably be fine with that because Drew Lock, I would hate to see it. As a Baker Mayfield fan, I am a Baker Mayfield fan. I'm starting to realize
and then him on the bench.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize I wasn't a Cleveland Browns fan. I was just a Baker Mayfield fan. I'm starting to hate the Cleveland Browns right now. I
mean, rightfully so.
Yeah, and like Drew Lock's ceiling is so high. Like it really, I don't care. Yeah, it is. Like he's got really good arm talent. He's big. Like his best, his rookie year, you were like, oh, that's the Broncos guy. That's like that guy is going to be a top 10 quarterback one day. Like
now that you say it, like I do feel like there's some similarities, some parallels there between him and Baker. Where it's like they've shown some things. Yeah. And I think Baker being in that starting position as much as he has been, he's shown a lot more and done a lot more. But Drew Lock, I think, he in the right situation, which that may or may not be Seattle, we could see a little bit more.
Oh yeah, they both have career losing records. I mean,
very,
very, very similar.
Does Baker Mayfield still have a career losing record?
I believe so. Yeah,
it's got to be like 50-50.
It's got to be pretty 500.
Close. It's got to be like 500.
I honestly just kind of
I'm looking right now.
I assumed so.
But either way, like I'm
29 and 30.
Yeah, I'm talking I figured it'd be around 500 like that. I'm talking myself into Drew Lock every day. Like I'm like, you know what? Well, you know what? This guy.
That's no. But like, that's not a good thing. You can't settle for
you were
Drew
doing
Lock.
the same thing. If you guys lost Aaron Rodgers, you wouldn't have been talking yourself into Jordan Love. Of course you would have.
I mean, I've talked myself into Jordan Love years ago. Air Jordan, come on. Future.
I don't have that. But then again, I've seen a lot more out of Taysom Hill already.
You've talked yourself into Jameis Winston, though. You've talked yourself into Jameis.
I don't feel like I really needed to, though. I feel like he performed. I was not high on Jameis Winston going into last season. I was scared for my life.
Yeah,
watching the Saints. But I mean, after, and I'm gonna gush just a little bit here. After he played the way he played,
killed the Packers
with no receivers, nobody's. I mean, Marquez Callaway, wide receiver, won my ass.
What was that stat week one that we were? It was like, what was the stat line? It was like 5 touchdowns, like 100 something yards.
Ridiculous. Yeah,
it was something.
Jameis Winston and Sam Darnold were like MVP front runners after week one, man. It was like
Sam Darnold off of rushing touchdowns for some weird reason. But I mean, Jameis last year, 5-2 record, almost 1,200 yards, 59% completion percentage isn't fantastic. Don't love seeing that. But again, throwing to nobodies and 14 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He played his way into Saints fans' hearts, not the other way around.
He feels like a Saint at this point. He feels very Louisiana-esque. Like I feel like he fits in that city.
We got him on a cheap contract too. I didn't think I thought we were going to pay him more than that, but apparently the market wasn't there like we thought it was.
I mean,
weren't as high
everybody got their quarterbacks. And Jameis
Yeah,
Winston, I mean,
they
best
got him
place for him
early.
is to
Yeah,
stay.
I thought potentially Jameis to the Colts, which I think would have been better for the Colts also. Basically, I'm just shitting on the Colts the whole podcast. I
I don't
hate
know.
this trade so
I
much.
really,
think it's
I
horrible.
genuinely, I think that the Colts could win that division. I think I really
because
think
the
they
division
could.
is horrible though. Not because
Yeah,
No, I
like,
think the
they're
Titans
gonna
are
be
really
eating
good
for it.
too.
Oh
I
yeah,
think the
I
Titans
think
are
so.
really good.
I think the Titans got worse this offseason based on the moves that they've made. They've lost a lot. I mean, Robert Woods, I think that's a great
Yeah,
trade for
that's
them.
a good. That's
I
a
mean,
good
coming off ACL
addition.
though.
But yeah, that's still iffy. And beyond that, I mean, I don't think the defense really got any better.
They got Austin Hooper.
They got
Mhm.
Austin
That's-
Hooper,
that
which
was a
like
good-
could be solid. You know, I think it's better than any tight end they had on the roster. But we're just gonna have to wait.
I
And see
think
for
two
them.
teams that we're overlooking quarterback wise are the Tennessee Titans with Ryan Tannehill. Maybe they try to get someone. I wouldn't be shocked if they went for someone out in the draft.
I
Maybe they
wouldn't be
get a
shocked
Kenny
either.
Pickett, and
I
Yeah.
think
Because-
I think they could get somebody in the draft potentially, maybe a
Yeah.
little bit later, kind of hold off and take somebody maybe in the second round or something.
absolutely.
But I also
them-
think that Ryan Tannehill is getting too much hate. Sorry, I don't mean to keep cutting you
Oh
off.
no, you're
you're good.
You're good. You're good.
I think
Ryan-
after last season with the injuries that they had, I mean, cut the guy some slack.
Yeah,
I mean, that was my MVP, and I had very high expectations
Yeah.
for him.
He
So
was like-
now I'm a big Ryan Tannehill hater. Actually, I went from all the way up here to all the way down there. But I think another team is the Detroit Lions. Right now they're kind of stuck with Jared Goff just because he's making so much money and they can't really get off that contract.
yeah,
But they're another team that could
yeah.
go after a
I guess the
quarterback here.
Lions. Yeah, the Lions are the other team. And I think
have-
Washington. I don't think Washington thinks that Carson Wentz is their long-term option.
I still think they could draft somebody as well.
Yeah.
Ron Rivera keeps talking highly of him, and he's like, "You're finally somewhere
you
where they
have
want
to.
you." Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. Like,
But I do think that they
Mhm.
could draft somebody to at least sit behind him just in case. As far as
Yeah.
the Lions, I have been mocking him there over and over and over again. Sam Howell is the savior of
Mm.
Detroit.
He might
that
be.
was, I feel like that would be such a fit. Just the light blue. I don't know why, but that's just like
Yeah.
the city to Detroit is just seamless.
I think Malik Willis is going to be a Seahawk. No matter who the Seahawks
And I
get,
wouldn't
if
be
they
pissed
get
with
Baker
that.
Mayfield,
Malik
I
Willis.
wouldn't be mad
I
about
think
that.
Malik
I think
Willis-
Malik Willis to me, maybe he won't end up there. He feels like a Falcon.
That was me. Yeah.
And maybe it's like the
Or a
Mike Vick
Steeler,
thing because you
or a
always think
Steeler.
of because you
Yeah.
always think of Michael Vick when you think of the Falcons as
Yeah.
far as quarterbacks, and
Yeah.
you got that the speed, the arm.
Mhm.
We'll see.
I wouldn't be mad if we took Malik Willis, but he's the only quarterback I want. Like maybe we wouldn't take Sam Howell, but
No
like,
tiny hands.
no, not Kenny Pickett. But
no,
like,
not
honestly,
Jack Cohen.
I wouldn't be mad about Kenny Pickett either because he's just done so much. Like he's put the results on the field with even with his small hands.
Carson Strong to the Seahawks.
Shut up.
Lock it
No,
in.
That would be the one I'm pissed about. Hell no.
You
But
picked
no,
he's
like,
a first rounder though. You picked him in the first.
yeah, I picked him like in the mind of like Bruce Arians and Jason. Is it still Jason Light down there as the GM? Yeah, right. In Tampa.
I wouldn't
think
think
so.
that they would have made a move. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As well as they've been doing, maintaining their guys.
Yeah,
I'll look real quick just to make sure.
But I would prefer to go into next year's draft class with wanting a quarterback and get Bryce Young or get
Yes, it
somebody
is
like
still.
that.
It is still Jason.
It's still Jason Light. But Malik Willis would be somebody I'd be okay with. Listen, no matter who we draft, if Carson Strong, I'd riot. If it's Carson Strong, I fucking riot. No. But if it's like a Matt Corral or a Malik Willis or even a Sam Howell or a Kenny Pickett, like either one of those guys, like I'll talk myself into them. Like I will. It's inevitable.
Hey, and they'll be learning from Drew Lock, so you're in good shape.
Good, great.
Yeah,
good.
you're in great.
Have veteran presence.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Well,
So excited.
that's enough football talk for tonight, guys.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about March Madness. We got to the Sweet 16 somehow, and I don't think any of us are doing too well in
Nope.
our own with our
Dumpster
brackets.
fire.
I'm
Yep.
all over the place.
Yep, my championship team was knocked out last night because they couldn't score more than 50 points. The fuck. All right, let me just rant about Wisconsin for a sec. 2 of 23 from 3-point range. Something about Wisconsin sports teams and just not showing up offensively in playoff games is just they just go hand in hand. I mean,
As Milwaukee just won the NBA championship. Yep.
I mean, Milwaukee aside, I mean, hey, there's still time. We got playoffs coming up soon, so
They still have plenty of time to choke, Jake.
That's
yeah.
true. That's true.
Wisconsin sports teams are the new Atlanta sports teams and Georgia sports teams. But no, March Madness has been crazy with St. Peter's, number 15 ranked St. Peter's. Did you see the video of their campus, by the way? The TikTok video?
A
It's
street,
disgusting.
right?
It's like
It's
3
Jersey
blocks.
City. It's disgusting. Yeah.
It is 3 blocks. I didn't see any dorms. I didn't see any.
Oh, I saw the dorms. They were not pretty.
I mean, what do they have?
They're-
Like a 20th of the budget that the rest of the teams have?
Yeah,
It's
and I don't want to shit on them, but I just
No,
have
it's
to
okay.
take
They're
a
from
second.
Jersey. You
Like,
can.
they're the Peacocks, and just looking at their uniforms and stuff, I would never guess that ever at any point.
Are you saying they should be colorful because they're?
I'm not saying that it
Mhm.
needs to be like rainbows and shit, but like, a little flair, a little something. But then again, they don't really have much money, so I guess some solid.
I'm
some solid
translating.
navies and
Gage
shit.
thinks they should play with full-on tails on their asses.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. That would. I mean,
Just
imagine
peacock feathers.
Can you imagine how demoralizing getting shit
Oh.
on by a team with peacock tails on would
That's
be?
true. That's fair. That's a fair
Kentucky
point.
would cease to exist as a
I mean, they already have, honestly.
kinda
Yeah.
Kentucky
I mean,
fans
have
still
you
in
seen-
shambles.
The name of their gym is Run Baby Run Arena. I
Is it
shit
really?
you not. I
Is
shit you.
it
Look it up.
Look, fantastic Cinderella story. I love
Yeah.
it. The more I learn about them, the more I'm pissed off. Just
The
saying.
more you just hate them.
the more I'm
want
just
them
like,
to
what
lose.
is happening over there? This
Yeah.
is a dumpster fire.
They're no
That's-
Oral Roberts. I'll tell you that. They are no Oral Roberts. But yeah, St. Peter's has been doing great. Baylor rallied back from 25 and lost to UNC. So that was a tough one. I just want to ask you guys' biggest takeaway from this past slate of games. What have you guys thought of the round of 32?
I don't.
How do I say this? It makes me remember why there will never be a perfect bracket ever in the history of existence.
You just
Never.
it's truly March Madness when like Auburn loses to Miami and I predict that correctly, but then I choose like Kansas in the first round and they lose to St. Peter's. Like that is
Yeah.
March Madness.
Kentucky, but yeah,
Who did I say? Kansas?
Kansas. But you're good. You're good.
K's, same thing, same difference. Kansas won, didn't they? Kansas, or no, they lost too, right? I don't know.
I believe they're out.
I'm not
It's a lot to
keeping
keep
If I'm
up
being
with.
honest, I thought they lost, but
Kansas, I'm looking, beat Creighton. No, they're on. They're in the Sweet 16. They face Providence.
Look at us not knowing what the fuck we're talking
Yeah,
about.
like,
Look
totally
at
unqualified,
that.
right?
I stopped
Oh.
watching. I
But-
stopped watching. Not that I don't want to. I love March Madness, but just like there's so much other shit going on, and my bracket was making me cry, so I didn't want to. I kind of had to take a step back for a few days.
But my biggest takeaway, I guess I would say, is North Carolina teams are built for the tournament. Just throwing it out there.
Get out of here! Oh, get the fuck out of here!
Who's still in it?
Shut
UNC
up.
had a rough regular season, and look what they're doing. I'm just
I
saying.
know. Duke did too. Duke did too.
They've been here.
Michigan is 17-14 somehow in the Sweet 16. I don't know how the fuck that happened.
But I knew I literally shit you not. I knew as soon as Juwan Howard threw that punch at Greg Gard, I was like, wouldn't it be so funny that Michigan is going to make it further in the NCAA
Yeah.
tournament than fucking Wisconsin? What
And
the
he
fuck
just-
happened?
He just throws out a
And
little
what
hug,
happened?
Get some positive
what
PR
happened?
real quick.
Oh my God, dude. That I will say the end of that Arizona TCU game was nuts.
Oh yeah, TCU was playing their asses off.
That frame, we were talking about it in one of my sports production classes today. The frame of the buzzer going off, and you see like the red in the backboard and all zeros on the shot clock, and the ball still in his hands above the rim. One of the greatest frames in recent sports history. One of the greatest shots. It was outstanding.
Why do you
lay it
dunk
up.
that?
Just lay
Why
it
do you
in.
dunk that?
Lay it in.
Imagine if they lost that.
Yeah, but they were down by one.
Imagine.
Listen, I'm whopping that from 3. I don't even care. I'm whopping that from half court. 3 seconds left. I don't care if I still have time. I'm shooting.
Yeah,
that
I
thing.
think if I see, because he had to have seen like a second and a half on the clock when he was at like the 3-point line.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like I'm jumper or layup. Like I'm getting that ball out of my hands as quickly as possible.
Mhm.
That was just stupid on his part. That was really stupid.
I'm
but
sure
I-
he got his ass.
Hey, they got
chewed.
the
win. They
They got the win. And that was also a foul. That was a foul at half court there. So
Yeah.
They should have been shooting free throws for the win. TCU should have. But listen, Arizona moves on. And March Madness is crazy. I'm just gonna pull up the bracket real quick, and then we could talk about who we think is gonna win from here on out.
I actually looked this up. Do you guys know who the lowest seed is to ever win March Madness? Like what number the lowest seed was to ever win the NCAA tournament?
12.
I'm gonna go 5.
Okay. It's 8. It was an 8 seed.
Wow.
8 seed won. It was 8 seed Villanova in 1985. The first year they expanded to the 64 team. 8 seed Villanova beat number 1.
I guess if there's a time for it to happen, it's when they do the expansion. You know what I mean? Because everything's kind of weird at that point.
Yeah, exactly. And they probably weren't really I guess they were an 8 seed, but I don't know.
Yeah, seeding may have been a little bit different, a little weirder at that time.
Yeah, all right. It's anything can happen. Could you fucking imagine if St. Peter's just went?
I was thinking about that earlier.
Then we start to question I love the NCAA tournament. I fucking love it. Does it really determine who the national champion is? Up for debate. If St. Peter's, because they can even Kemba's year, UConn was terrible during the regular season. They kind of just went on a run at the end there. They won the Big East and then they went on to win the tournament. Were they the best team in college basketball that year? Best team in college basketball that year?
Fine line between elimination games are super fun, and that's what makes March Madness great. Yeah. And also, a series, I feel like for basketball is more telling of the actual better team in that situation. Yeah.
But then you could go on and say, well, how many times is this team going to get lucky? Before they're actually good. A team can't win 5 straight games, get to the national championship, 5 straight games against some of the best teams in the country and not be good and not be deserving of that. Yeah. They're gonna, so I don't know. I just want one of these small schools to win one year and just have that debate. Because next year on first take, it would be the next day, it would be is the NCAA tournament a fluke? Does it actually decide who the national champion is?
And that would get super interesting too, especially when comparing it to the national championship for football, because we have basically the opposite conversation about that every year. Should they expand? Should there be more teams and stuff like that? So I think that'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So let's to end this episode, let's just give some quick picks here. We got Arkansas, number 4 ranked Arkansas against number 1 Gonzaga. Jake, we'll go Jake, Gage, and myself.
Okay. Yeah, I'm done giving rational answers because that's what fucks me over every year. My girlfriend literally just went through her the brackets, not knowing a single thing about any team, and just picked random teams, and she is I put her in the bracket with a bunch of my friends. She is winning the bracket by a landslide. So I'm done giving rational thought to this. So I fucking hate Arkansas. They beat us in the Outback Bowl. So I'm going to go with Gonzaga in this situation just because.
I'm going to go with an upset here, I think. Because Gonzaga, while they have, if you look at the scores, they've been beating teams, by a pretty decent margin. They've been a little rough in the first half, so far, up to this point, they haven't looked the best, and they've kind of had to rally and bring things back with a higher seed in Arkansas. And I think Arkansas is a pretty decent team. I think that they could definitely take it. So I'm going to go Arkansas.
I'm also going to go Arkansas. I had them going pretty far in my original bracket, so I'm going to stick to my guns. And I didn't like the way Gonzaga ended their last game. So they have more star power, but I think they'll lose in this one. Then we got fucking 11 ranked Michigan at number 2 Villanova. Fuck Michigan. Sorry, all my Michigan fans. Sorry, who are some famous ones? Dave Portnoy is the only one I know. Fuck Brady. Michigan. Fuck Tom Brady. Also, fuck Tom Brady, but
Total Juan.
All right,
Rich Eisen.
Le'Veon Bell. Fuck Le'Veon Bell too. I'll throw that
Le'Veon Bell went to Michigan State.
Oh yeah. I'm sort of Kirk Cousins. I'm thinking of the wrong.
Yeah,
I'm tripping.
Wrong Michigan. No, that's all right.
We'll cut it out. I'm editing out.
F them both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck them anyway.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Fuck them. I fucking hate Michigan State. My friend's a big Michigan State fan. He can go fuck off.
Anyway, who you got, Jake? Michigan, Villanova.
Oh, I'll go Nova.
I'm gonna go Nova. Yeah, I'm gonna go Nova also.
Yep. That's a clean sweep for Nova. Then we got number 3 Texas Tech at number 2 Duke.
Oh, Texas Tech all the way. Fuck.
I have Texas Tech winning it all. So I'm gonna stick with my guns there. Texas Tech.
I'm gonna go Duke. I'm gonna ride out with Coach K. And then we have number 5, Houston. Number 1, Arizona.
Houston
Ooh,
all the fucking way. Houston proved something to me when they knocked off Illinois.
They have been playing very well.
Yeah, they should not have been a 5 seed. They should not. They're too good. They're too good to have been a 5 seed.
They're really good. Arizona's coming off of a very close win over TCU, even though I think TCU was good also.
TCU is
maybe
a
a
good
little
team.
Lower seeded than they could have been. But I think I'm gonna take Houston also.
I'm gonna go Arizona, and to be honest, I think Arizona is probably my pick to win it out of these 16 teams.
Who are some Arizona alums? Who's like Aaron Gordon is the only one I can think of.
DeAndre Ayton. No, that was Arizona State.
Yeah, no, DeAndre Ayton was Arizona. Yeah. Rob Gronkowski is another one, but I'm thinking, but basketball in terms of basketball, like.
Here, I'll look up Arizona alum while
I know is Aaron Gordon and DeAndre Ayton.
We got St. Peter's, number 15, St. Peter's at number 3, Purdue.
We almost beat Purdue. Penn State basketball almost beat Purdue. So I am 100% going St. Peter's here because our biggest problem was we didn't have a shooter. Like if we literally had one shooter that could hit like consistently like above 30% from 3, like we would have won that game against Purdue. So, and I know that the Peacocks, I'm a Peacock. You got to let me fly. Those guys, Mr. Doug Ebert. Mr. Doug Ebert.
How can you not root for
Dougie Doug, the man that is encapsulating women across the nation.
Apparently he has a girlfriend. Throwing that out there, ladies. Sorry about your luck.
So sorry about that. I think this game will end on a game-winning 3-pointer at the buzzer, and I think it'll be from none other than the Doug man.
Our first true buzzer beater of the tournament.
Yeah,
we've had some
there
close
hasn't
ones,
been one, right? There hasn't been one.
Almost last night.
Almost, but not
quite.
Real quick, gonna go through it fast. Some Arizona alum, Gilbert Arenas. You guys named DeAndre Ayton.
Arenas, yeah.
Mike Bibby.
Okay, yeah.
Teddy Bruschi came out of Arizona.
Really interesting.
Yeah,
Pat's legends.
There's not a ton of
Nick
like
Foles
super
went to Arizona for a little
super
bit too.
notable. Yeah, Nick Foles also went to
Michigan State.
Yeah. Anyway, which teams are we talking about?
Purdue,
St. Peter's and Purdue.
St. Peter's and Purdue.
Go on St. Peter's.
I'm going St. Peter's because I grew up in a town called Garfield, New Jersey, and they were the Garfield Boilermakers, and to this day, I think the Boilermakers got by far the stupidest fucking team name you can have.
But
Boilermakers.
But listen, okay, if we had a bracket of dumbest mascot names ever, Peacocks and Boilermakers probably both 1 seeds.
I'm taking Peacocks over Boilermakers.
I think I'm still taking Peacocks over Boilermakers personally.
Yeah, so any way you look at it, this is a matchup of heavyweights. Either way you look at it.
I don't know if I'll go that far, but I'm going St. Peter's. So F the Boilermakers. We got number 4 Providence at number 1 Kansas, who we thought was not in the tournament. So that just goes to show.
No, we didn't think. We knew they were in the tournament. I didn't know. Like Kansas has been like the quietest. Am I crazy to say they've been the quietest 1 seed yet? Like
there's just been so many upsets that it's like I don't know who's left.
I don't like watching the 1-16 matchups and because I just always feel like they're gonna be blowouts and just like I don't care to watch that.
Who was it that put up a fight? Which team put up a fight? Against Gonzaga.
The very first
Gonzaga.
round.
Yeah.
It was shit. Let me look.
Fuck, who played Gonzaga?
No, it was Georgia State.
Georgia State put them over.
Gonzaga pulled away in the second half, pretty late, because they ended up beating them 93-72. But it was like a 1-point game for a long time. They were just trading buckets.
Yeah.
All right, who you got, Jake?
I am going to go with Kansas Providence.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll go Kansas just because I feel like there has to be one seed that does something. So I'll go Kansas.
I'll go Kansas also. Blue blood.
I'll go Kansas as well.
It's a good word. That's a good word to use when you like just don't want to talk about the logistics.
If you want to sound like you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, just like blue blood
program. You know?
That won't work out for you if you're talking about Nebraska football, but it will work out if you're talking about Kansas basketball. Yeah. It's like blue blood program. Yeah, they'll get it done.
All right.
Just
We
makes
got
sense.
8 seed UNC at 4 seed, or not at 8 seed UNC versus 4 seed UCLA.
Oh, I'll go UNC. I'll give UNC. They proved a lot to me in that game against I guess who the fuck did they play? They played Baylor, right? Baylor, yeah.
Yeah, they beat Baylor.
Yeah, they proved a lot to me in that game against Baylor. Like, this is another team that was seeded a little too low. They had a little bit of a rough regular season than it should have been. But I'll go UNC. I think they're better than their seeding says.
Even before this, I mean, their first round game against Marquette, and they blow them out.
Crushed them.
Yeah. I'm going to go UNC as well. I can't talk highly of North Carolina basketball and then eliminate both teams in good conscience. So yeah, UNC it is.
I got UCLA. They were in my Final Four, so I will stick to my guns and roll with the I forgot the University of California, Los Angeles. There it is. Then we got the random one, the 11 seed Iowa State versus the 10 seed Miami.
What a fucking matchup. How many times in history has been an 11-10 matchup? It's got to be like never.
I have no clue.
Never.
No clue.
But I gotta go Iowa State. My man Isaiah Brockington, Penn State transfer. It'd be really nice if he was doing this on Penn State, but he decided to not do that.
He decided to go be a part of the tournament.
Yeah, he decided to go, exactly. He decided to have a chance. So good for him. So I'm gonna ride my guy. I gotta go Isaiah Brockington, the Iowa State.
Whoa, pause. Well, it is episode 69.
Nope. So. Yeah, true.
St. Peter's, Peacocks.
I am gonna go with Miami. Like I said, I was able to predict the Miami upset over Auburn, so I'm just gonna ride with them. I think they are a pretty solid team too. I think they're playing higher than their seed right now.
And one thing we're not talking about. This is a big weather matchup. We got the Cyclones going up against the Hurricanes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a whirlwind.
Big weather matchup, guys. Get your storm coats on. Where are the storm chasers? The storm chasers better be at this fucking game.
This game is gonna blow you out of your seat.
Oh my, yeah, seriously. Like this game, I might put on a raincoat. You know what? If this episode gets to 100 downloads, I'll put on a raincoat and watch that game. I'll go buy one.
Yeah, I'm
like the whole
they want to see that.
Like
I bet our fans wish so bad to see you in a raincoat watching.
I would do it. I live stream it too.
State Miami Florida game. I'm going with Miami. Fuck Ohio State. Fuck Ohio State too. Fuck Iowa State. They beat my Badgers and they looked like shit, and they still won. So yeah, I got Miami. But yeah. So that's gonna wrap it up for episode 69 of the Totally Unqualified podcast.
Nice.
If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure to leave us a rating and review. It would be greatly appreciated. Make sure to turn on all of your post notifications as well, and even on YouTube as well. So I'm gonna leave it up to you guys, Jake. You could start. Anything you want to say to close things out?
Yeah. If you or a loved one has been injured or has been subjected to mesothelioma, or you may think you've been subjected to mesothelioma, please call the number on. Is this not wrong? Sorry,
no.
Download the podcast.
That's different script.
Different script. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So sorry. No, guys. Make sure to go follow us on all of our social media accounts. All right. I'm Jake Maltese 3. We got Luke Football Fan Zone, Gage Extra Points, and of course all of our Totally Unqualified accounts. YouTube's been growing. We've pretty much all been grinding on Twitter. Man, the sex references in this episode just don't stop. But no, we've all been kind of really pushing out the content in all of our social channels. So make sure to go follow us on all of those. We really do appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Sure. The YouTube especially, we definitely want to keep growing that. That's been growing exponentially for a while now. The past few months, we've been gaining quite a bit of subscribers, so we appreciate that. If you are somebody that watches on YouTube, let us know. It's episode 69. Comment nice down below. We want to see it.
If you made it this far in the episode, comment nice. We better see.
Let us know that you
better see a nice chain going,
and we may or may not give you a smooch. It's out there. May or may not. It's not going to happen.
No, not we. It's just Gage.
No, it's
just
Gage.
me.
It's just Gage.
Just Gage.
Just
Gage. For me. Whatever.
All right, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. We'll see you guys in the next one.